turn yourselves into a greasy spot on a country road somewhere, go right ahead. I don't give a shit, and I don't think anybody else does, regardless what they say to your face.
Hey, Lori, what in the hell are you doing in there? Is she gonna ride with you?
Mind your own business, John.
Yeah, she's going with me. You take care of yourself, man.
What's your name?
I heard she was into burning rubber and making motors blow. So what the school asked her just how fast she liked to go. She said, how many cubic inches you got where it counts? I told her 125 inch, but my motor mounts. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod ain't enough for her. She didn't stay up for her. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. And I'm in my rod to pose. She's a hot rod whore. Well, she's seen no truck pistons, stroke and brake shafts too, and a vulnerable and a positive traction returns her to go. That head now head, give her the kind of head buddy her cable wag. You got a head sitting on your hood, it's in the bag. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. She don't need to know your son, just your token power. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. They're shining my rods up close. She's a hot rod whore. Shoot. She's hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. If you're right to first speed, it's guaranteed. I'm gonna scour with hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Just minding my back to pose. She's a hot rod whore.
There it is. So, welcome everybody to Jeff's Garage. We got Benji in the house as usual, the supercar guru, if you will. And then, of course, I am the Jeff of all trades, the leader of this shit show, I guess. We are, of course, on the Nonsensical Network. As always, we have a show every night of the week for something for everybody, really. Men Caring for Men on Mondays, Jeff's Garage on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, of course, we do What the Fuck News. Basically, we find weird stories that we talk about. Of course, Thursdays, of course, is Talking Shit, where the guys do interviews with some celebrities, some music guys, the whole 9 yards. Fridays, of course, is Glick's House of Music, where Glick does interviews with some local musicians, and he's got some good people coming up. He's got an episode coming up I really want to watch where he interviews those four girls on the Girls at Rock tour. I can't remember what it's called. And then, of course, Saturday is the flagship show, the Nonsensical Nonsense Open Door Challenge, where we open the door and let you guys come on up and say hello. We just ask that you keep your dick in your pants. And then coming soon, I don't have a date on it. I wish I did. Is Steven's Sports Show. I'm kind of excited for that. I mean, I'm not the sports guy, but I want to get Steven back up and running, rock and rolling. And then, of course, you can follow us everywhere. You just see right here at the bottom of your screen, it's scrolling across there, is the Nonsensical Network, bio.link/Nonsensical Network. That's all our links where you can find out everything. I think that covers everything. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, same old thing, different day. I'm kind of excited about tonight because I got something for you, buddy. You know, we always do this segment that, do you need this tool? Well, as I told you before we started, I'm changing it for this episode, in this episode only. We all need this tool. Let me play this clip for you because, dude, I want a set of these like you have no idea. Here we go.
Like, it fits a normal new screw, and it repairs the old ones. So what is this product called?
This is called the Snappy Driver.
The Snappy Driver.
Yeah, and in Japanese, it has an original name called the Wanidora.
The Wanidora?
Yeah, Wanidora.
The Wanidora.
Wani is alligator in Japanese. It snaps like a jaw. It bites into the screw.
This is a strip screw. All right, so this screwdriver, he'll take it, pound on it, and then actually unscrew it. Like, this is a screwdriver changer right here. You can see it's a different style of tip. It's gonna bring your Phillips head back to life. Doesn't hurt the screwdriver one bit. You can do this over and over again, and you can also use it in a new screw. And the junior. Oh, you got a little baby. I like that. Man, this is my kind of screwdriver. Heavy duty, and you can beat on it.
This is full tang.
This is a little baby. And look at that. Slap a freaking box end on that.
Grip.
Yeah, you got some grip. All right, you guys make some cool tools. Where can somebody buy the NX Tools app?
So this comes in 4 different sizes on Amazon. Set
Okay.
for $32.
Yep.
And this one as well, same 4 different drivers for $32.
Awesome. Thank you.
$32, not terrible for a set of 4, and it's a full tank. So, you know, the metal goes all the way through. You're not going to hurt this thing. And, you know, I mean, you can't do that with a normal screwdriver. You'll ruin the screwdriver or ruin the screw. I'm saying it's a good deal. We need it. There's no question in my mind. This is great for, you know, if you're repairing something or building something and you screw up the screw, just take it right out.
Completely
I'm kind of
agree.
impressed.
Completely
I mean,
agree. I like that you can put a wrench on it to give you that.
I do
pleasure.
too. Yeah, and it's not the wrench on the handle, so to speak. It's actually a metal box end spot. Like, you know, they have the old what is it? Stanley. Stanley has those plastic handle screwdrivers. You can put a box end on it, but it's awkward, and you'll strip out the plastic and all that stuff.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm saying this is something everybody needs. It's like industry standard. Like, it doesn't matter what you're working on.
Completely agree. This is a very cool tool.
Yeah, I found this the other day, and I was like, holy crap, I want one. I want one. I need one. Where are we going? We're going everywhere. Like, where are we going? But yeah, like I said, this is something that, like, Father's Day gifts. Everybody always wondered, what's a good Father's Day gift? $32. He is going to be happy as a pig in shit. If he's a tool guy or he's working on something, birthdays, Christmas, I want 14 sets, you know, because I want one everywhere I go.
I'm waiting for a review on some of these products you're suggesting us.
You know, and that's one of the things I eventually want to do. El Jefe, yes, that's me. I eventually like to do. I'd like to buy, because, you know, something like these, I will totally buy them, and I'll fuck up a bunch of screws just so I can do this and be like, look, this thing actually works. Unfortunately, they cost money, you know. Yep. But tonight we're going to be going over, and I kind of did a Wizard of Oz theme with this: man caves, she sheds, and barndominiums. Oh my!
Ooh, good stuff.
Well, and I was explaining this to somebody the other day. I can't remember who it was. A man cave and a she shed. It's not your garage. It's not. It's a place to hang out. It's like, yep, you keep your hobbies in there. As you see, I'm in my barndominium. Not really. It's the background, but you know, it's a place to hang out. You know, and you've seen the little ones. You know, the little she sheds and man caves that you buy at like Home Depot. You don't need, like, I saw one, and I wish I could find a picture of it. This dude had it set up. He just had a TV on the wall, a hot tub in it, and a wet bar. Like, he swam up to the wet bar to make a wet bar. I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm not a big jacuzzi guy, but I get it, you know. I think they're a wonderful thing, and they don't take up a lot of space, you know. you can get the ones from Home Depot for what are they, like $4 or $5 grand, the plastic ones. And then of course, you can spend millions if you wanted to. You don't have to. But my favorite thing, and you and I talked about this the other day, the Barndominium. And I have the ultimate one. The ultimate Barndominium I found. So I found a web page on Facebook. It's called Best Barndominium Homes. And I'm going to share it real quick. And I don't have anything like planned on this. I just wanted to show you this because some of these are really cool. Like, that's a barndominium. It's nothing crazy. It looks like a barn from the outside, but it's your house.
Yep.
And beautiful. They're very rustic. And you and I were talking about, like, if we weren't married, we didn't have the wife problem. And I say problem, I'm being mean there, but you know what I mean? Like, when you're married, and you know this as well, if you want to buy something cool, you got to ask permission. And you're probably going to get turned down, especially when it comes to, let's live in a barn. That's a difficult conversation. So, and if we had the money, of course, and the space to do so, this is how you and I would pretty much live. Am I wrong?
Correct.
Now, correct. The only caveat is mine would actually be one room with a bed in it and a TV, and then a giant parking garage.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with
it. Is minuscule is what I need for a living space.
Yeah. I need a place to cook, and let's be honest, if I got money falling out my ass, I'm gonna just order food. I need a place to eat, place for the guys to hang out, and then of course I need a place to park the cars out of the weather. So there's nothing wrong with a 1-bedroom, 45-car garage. I'm just saying.
One bedroom, 50,000 square foot.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the room's only like 10 by 10 because that's where my bed is. But this one, I have a set of pictures here I wanted to show you because this guy, either he has the most trusting wife on the planet, or he is single as all get out. This is the outside. I think it's beautiful. It's lovely. Mm-hmm. I like the driveway. I like the rock garden kind of thing going. The kitchen.
I like it.
TV area. Not bad, right?
I like it.
Little different view of the kitchen seating area.
Yeah, no, I like it.
You can see where he's going with this. You got the Indian up top sitting on the rack, and it looks like a couple other toys up there. He's got the Cuda parked over there. Of course, he's got the Bronco up over by the bar.
Oh, wow.
That's the couch looking out over the driveway. I mean, that's a beautiful, he's sitting in the fireplace looking at what is that, a Kenworth?
That's a tractor trailer. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. My boy's got it set up.
Wow.
Right? This guy's my hero, dude. I'm not a big fan of the tri-haul boat, but I don't mind a tri-haul. But, I mean, and unfortunately, I don't have pictures of the upstairs, but I'm sure it's just a bed in his Harley that's up there. I don't know how well you can see it, but
I can only imagine it looks like there's a room all the way in the back. There's a door.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a bathroom in there somewhere, and I think that's what's underneath the bedroom area here, right in the middle of your screen. Wow. I'm just saying, the only issue I have, there's not more space for cars. But you take that kitchen dining room out, I got extra space because the garage doors are big enough. And that's the beauty of, like, this is the setup that I think all car guys want, is this house with the, the old saying goes, well, it's kind of a newer saying that I've seen lately. If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside. And this is what my man did. A diesel truck in the middle of winter, it's a bitch to start up. This guy doesn't have that problem. He's got it indoors.
Yeah, he doesn't have that problem.
But like and I had some pictures, and I thought I did. Let me bring them up here real quick because I dropped them down because my internet was messing up. When we talk about man caves and she sheds, to kind of back up a little bit, I'm going to present this. This is just a quick Google search of man caves and she sheds. They're not. I mean, I think that's cute. She's got like a little. I like that. The round one.
Yeah, you can make them literally out of anything.
Well, I mean, they got those sheds at Home Depot. They're like $1,000, and they're plastic walls and stuff. But it's a starter. Or you get some like this guy's got here. This is a Home Depot special right there.
I like the one that's got the porch connecting the he and she together.
This one here, I'm not mad at that.
No, I think that's super cool.
And it looks like there's a little deck in between.
Yeah, I really dig that, like a lot.
This is a wee shed.
That probably fits my scenario really well, actually.
It's kind of perfect because, like, if I have you over, this is the inside of my man cave, and we're gonna sit here and watch racing or watch a movie, and we don't have to have the women bothering us. And of course,
look at that.
That's gorgeous. And then, of course, the ladies, they do their thing in there. Look, this guy's got a little bar in here. I'm not mad at that either. Does it come with the 70-year-old man that just sits at the bar and talks shit?
Mine wouldn't. Maybe someone else's does.
I love listening to some old man tell some story about some weird shit, and I'm just like, you got it, brother. Whatever, man.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. If I want to do that, I'll just go to the cigar shop. But I mean, if I'm in my shed,
well, that's true.
We're doing things I want to do, which is
exactly
smoke cigar, drink cold beer, bourbon, or whatever.
And I'm sure you have the same issue I do. I know you smoke your cigars outside.
Yeah, been smoking all day.
And now, if you smoke in the house, do you get in trouble?
I wouldn't get in trouble.
But it's frowned upon.
I would not. But this is not my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking like.
I know. I've got a weird situation. I get my house next year when I go to Georgia.
But like, let's say you own the house and you, the wife, kids, everybody's there. You're still going to go outside and smoke. It's not even about the smell or anything like that. It's more of a respect for the wife thing, and I get that because cigar smoke, it's not a quick 5-minute cigarette.
Not at all.
I can bounce out real quick, go have a cigarette, and not even I'll be done by the commercial.
Sure.
Where yours, it's a commitment, as you were.
It's 30 minutes is probably about the minimum. I'm right there at the hour to an hour and 15-minute mark is where kind of my maximum's at.
Right. So, and of course, now does your wife, is she bothered by the smoke smell?
No, she said it reminds her of her grandpa. So that's pretty cool.
That's not creepy at all, but okay.
Her grandpa dude, he was fucking awesome.
But like, you don't want the inside of the house smelling like a brewery or smelling like a forest fire.
I don't smoke in either one of our actual cars. I'll smoke in my work vehicle.
Right.
Unless I know I'm going to pick up my kids in my work vehicle, then I'll make sure I go 3 or 4 days and not have a cigar in it. But if it's just me and the guys, I don't really care about that too much. But I'm not going to get in trouble by no means, but I try to be respectful.
Okay, there you go. And that's the beauty of a man cave and she shit. If she wants to go out there and let's say smoke a joint, I hate the smell of weed. So if your significant other wants to go toke up or get blitzed on alcohol, and I'm not a big drinker, my wife's not a big drinker, so it's not something I worry about, but it's one of those things. It's like, if you're getting blasted with your friends and you guys are all loud and I'm trying to watch a fucking movie or whatever I'm trying to watch, go to your she shit because I'm going to be over here and I'm going to be in my man cave and now that actually, when it comes to decoration on the house, when you guys move into the house, are you allowed to decorate as a man?
I definitely have my wife says I have pretty good style.
I understand, but you can't go full on man, like
no,
the wall of hubcaps.
So the older I've gotten, I've actually toned it down away from like darker manly colors, and that's due to I've had to live in a townhome, like an interior townhome, for last year, and having darker colors is perfectly fine, right? But you have to have a well lit house for that. So there's a balance, and I didn't have a balance. And the older I've gotten, I've figured out the balance.
Okay.
And so no, I don't want.
Yeah, but she's not gonna like.
Man only, right?
Well, I actually saw something, and it was a long time ago. Let me go ahead and look it up. I don't know where I would find it, but it was like this guy had an outline of like a bomber painted on his wall, and he literally set tea lights coming off it like it was dropping bombs over the fireplace.
That's pretty neat.
And it looked really cool, but it's like, yeah, that dude's single.
Yeah, there's no way I could.
There's no way she's gonna let you do that. So having the man cave, you get to have that wall of chrome hubcaps that we all wanted as a kid. You know,
and I think that's the point, though, right? Because you have your home space, which is for a communal for everyone.
Exactly.
And then you have your personal space.
Right. And when it comes to, once you get the man cave up, hey, do what you want. Like, of course.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Yeah, because there's no way, because I have a design. I have things that I would require for my man cave, right? Real specific. This is what I want. This is what I would need to build X amount of square footage. I don't need nothing huge, but there's a couple of things I want for like starter, right? But if I had like a 10-car garage, well, I'm going to make it a 9-car garage because I want one space specific. But if I'm doing like an actual like he shed or whatever. Let's just go with your 10 by 12. It is going to be very manly.
Exactly. It's and it's not even manly. It's the stuff you like. Like for example, and I know this isn't you because of the car, but let's be honest. If you could, you would do something similar, just a different car. That's man cave material right there, buddy. I know you would rock the Ferrari. And I'm sure that's just fiberglass.
I have no problem with that Lamborghini right there whatsoever.
But like, you put it in the living room, you're going to be sleeping in the living room forever.
Yeah. There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, So I get it. It's not something, and it's not that it's distasteful what we do. It's just not. She's like, that's a focal point. Everybody, when they walk in the house, they're going to see a giant Ferrari hanging on the wall.
It's themed, right? So I don't think my wife would want a set of, like, let's just take Lamborghini for example, set of wheels off of a Lamborghini to make an end table for our couch.
Oh! I want the end table, the dining, what is that? That coffee table that Top Gear had.
Sure, but I think you have to. Right. Again, it's to me. I try to be reasonable when it comes to these things. There's themes that scream husband, wife, kids, and then there's stuff that screams husband or specific wife. Right. I don't think my wife, if she was into sewing, she wouldn't be willing in a sewing machine in the living room and saying, "Are you okay with this?" And to me, I'm just going to go with the flow because I could care less at the end of the day. But like, I don't care. That's your thing, but at the end of the day, that's not really the theme of the living room. Is let's go make quilts in the living room or shirts or whatever.
Well, and that's the beauty of having the man cave and she shed because, like as you said, the sewing machine, they don't take up a lot of space.
No,
but you also don't want it in the middle of the living room.
Well, nor does a Lamborghini Diablo sitting on your sill or your wall either. It doesn't take any space. But
you also don't want it in the communal space. So by having the man cave and she shed, as you're out in the world, and we've all been to garage sales and seen something like that look really cool hanging on my wall.
Yep.
And then of course you get in the back of your head, she's not going to let me have that. I know. So you'd be like, you know what? I got a man cave. I can throw that sucker in. Mm-hmm. We've all seen the bar stools that are made out of old rims or shock absorbers, things like that. Totally cool stuff. You can't have it in the house. It's too. The car theme is a hard thing to get away with in a main part of the house.
Yeah, it's not neutral, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can put Hello Kitty seats on it, but that doesn't. It just still doesn't flow.
No.
But you know, I like the idea of a man cave, but if I have like if you have a barndominium or even a large garage, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What like a barndominium, it's just basically an open floor plan, which I love an open floor plan.
Oh, they're fantastic.
You know, because if you're standing over in the kitchen and I'm over here, you know, fixing the light switch 1,000 feet apart, I'd be like, hey, bring me over that screwdriver that's sitting over there, and so I can tighten this in. And I don't have to go searching around the house for it. So like the barndominium, as you see behind me, it's a big open space. It's catching on more and more. There's like 15 different people on YouTube that are building barndominiums, or they're buying barns and then turning them into barndominiums and then selling them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how well you're going to get away with that with the HOA, or or even in town. But if you got the space, it's got to be the way to go.
Yeah, to me it wouldn't be like I'm more into. I do want a separate space. I don't always want to smell motor. I don't always want to smell tires.
No, and I get that.
Or anything like that. But I am really about. I kind of like the separation a little bit. For me, it's hanging out in the garage. Get out of here, both.
As a single guy living with the car, I'm in 100%. But as a couple, or if you're in a relationship, they might not be in for it. And so I get that.
I'm a little bit different because I don't want just a garage with cars, right? I have like a specific thing in my head, like I really want. So I want more of let's just say I could afford a 10-car garage. One of those bays I'm converting and putting a door on, just like a regular walk-through door.
Just like that room.
Correct. I want arcades. I want a full-on bar.
I do like the idea. I have an arcade room.
I've had one before. I want pool table. I want darts. I want skeet ball. I want an entire hangout space completely separate from where I go and watch TV and kind of sleep. That's more my style, but I completely understand why someone would want a barndominium. If you're more focused on kind of hanging out with your cars and then going to sleep with your cars right there. That's not my style.
Yeah, but a real barndominium, you don't actually put the car in it. The one I was showing here earlier, this one here, with the guy with the rig and everything in here, that is more of, that guy's definitely single.
Yep.
Because and I get it.
Tells me he's looking for lot lizards, not the love of his life.
Yeah, amen to that. But you never know. I mean, I was watching something about people getting their CDL, and you can make some serious money as a trucker. But it's one of those things. Like, if I can totally understand the separation. That is the only problem with the barndominium. You almost have to build add-on rooms to a big open space, so you have that arcade. I love the idea of a pool table. I've wanted a pool table since I'm like 5 years old. I love a pool table. That is a downfall of the barndominium. But even if you had like a regular house and you had the separate barn or your separate garage, this is how I want the garage. Have a space where I can just sit and do a man cave, she said kind of thing in the garage because I have space.
Absolutely.
And let's be honest, the rustic look, I love it. The industrial look, I love that style. The problem with houses nowadays is, you work on houses every day. It's drywall everything, and if you push on it too hard, it's going to fall through. The
This guy
rustic
has got
look.
This guy blended. He hired someone to do this, but they blended the styles very well. And this guy has got some extremely deep pockets.
I was going to say, that truck alone, that thing is mint. And it's just a day cab, but what do you think that costs? Like $150?
Yeah, man. I mean,
that's $150,000 truck if it's a penny.
He has one hell of a TV sitting on that wall too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
I mean, this place is freaking gnarly.
And that you can actually see the Harley up there on that one. I love the chandelier too. And then he's got, of course, the big ass fan, which is actually a brand name.
Yep, I used to work with them all the time. For Coca-Cola.
And then he's got the industrial strength garage doors on that. Those aren't those garage doors you see here. They're full set up. You hit a button.
I mean, this house is made for hanging out. I mean, he's got a little couch, but if you look, he's got the TV with the 4 or 5 chairs or whatever it is. And then
he's got the dining table. He's got another couch over here.
Yep. There's a little room on the bottom right there on to the right.
I think that's like
a secondary bathroom, maybe.
Yeah, because it looks like back here. This is maybe going to do a pantry kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's definitely a bathroom right there.
This is this guy's hangout. This is quite the investment for this guy, and I hope.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do an
investment, he's able to enjoy it.
Well, the only problem I have with having all this knife stuff, especially if you're single, nobody there to enjoy it. Because as much as we all like hanging out with our friends can't always hang out because everybody's got jobs and families and stuff like that. So I hope this guy's at least, maybe this is his secondary house. I mean, you can see the size of the place.
Yeah, I don't know. If he's a full-on truck driver, this is probably his main house. And he goes there when he can, right? Goes there on the weekends or whatever. I don't know. I mean, one hell of a pond or lake or something behind him too. I mean, what the fuck, dude? This place is
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, this place is incredible, man.
I didn't even see that.
I mean,
I like the manicured lawn too.
And it's one of the shit out of little garage to the side. You see that?
I saw that. Well, that's the garage you keep like your lawnmower in. You don't want that because that smell can get gross after a while. So you keep your lawn care shit in there. You don't put that inside the house. It's way too nice.
Yeah.
But like that kitchen is nothing to joke about either. I love the built-in sink.
This guy, he spent crazy amount of money on it. And good for him, man. Good for him. And I'm sure there's women that would walk in this house and be like, you know what, I can tolerate.
I'm moving in.
Yeah, that most of what you got going on because there is nothing slack ass about this. This is
exactly this is done right, and it looks like I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know. There's a couple of women's touches in there. You got the little greenery here. So either that or he's got one hell of a decorator.
I think it's decorator, honestly.
It's got to be.
Yeah, because this place is spot freaking on.
Yeah,
but this place is incredible.
This is something your if you do have a spouse or a significant other, they're not going to feel out of place. They're not going to feel like you're sleeping in a garage.
Yep.
Even though technically it is because he's got all the vehicles in there, and I'm not mad at it. When it comes down to a living space for a car guy or a tool guy or whatever, the only thing I would have made different is he's got, and I've seen this only once before, the cabinetry, snap-on toolboxes.
Yeah, and maybe he just wanted a little bit of
like a breakaway.
This picture doesn't even look like the same house though. That's
what's crazy because you can actually see the field there in the background. It's weird angle. So that that bathroom is right here, underneath the stairs, on that back wall
but
there.
if you look though, it's completely separate. Like it is its own separate entity to make it feel more like a home.
Right, and that's
then
a
there's
nice
the
way to do it.
hangout space. Yeah. Yeah, no,
I'm not mad at it.
No, because this house is broke up pretty well, right? It's your hangout space, and then there's, I mean, it's like a high-end freaking dealership, is what this is.
But I can literally smell that truck from here.
Phew.
And I can smell the armor all over the house.
You can't. There's no way to escape it in this.
Yeah.
There's got to be one hell of a ventilation system that's automated on this house. There's
it looks like these windows do open.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see up the stairs there a little bit. It's kind of spacious up there.
Well, you got 4-post lifts in there. I mean, he's back on a freaking big rig in there. I mean, they're.
Well, where's that one picture? These doors, you leave them open for an hour. That whole room, every millimeter of air has been replaced.
I bet it is expensive to heat and cool.
That's my problem with the Barndominium. You got to have it in the right space. If you have it in fucking Montana somewhere in the winter time, you're going to be running that little stove all the time, or you're going to have one hell of a heating bill.
Well, so in the HVAC industry, they do make there's like tubes you can put in the wall. I saw that someone built one up here in Charlotte, and I went and quoted some insulation on it, but I didn't really want to do it because I just wasn't big enough to do the job. But he done something with HVAC before, and it's all done through like fans taking the air from the top, pushing it to the bottom because obviously heat rises. And that satisfies the thermostat a lot quicker. There's ways to do it, but getting to the point for you to be able to move in, it is quite expensive, and it is all custom. This isn't something you buy out of the box.
Yeah, I was going to say, this isn't something you can go to Home Depot and throw together yourself.
Yeah, and I can only imagine cranking that big rig up. You're going to want to crank it up and immediately get the thing out of the house.
Yeah. Well, it's a diesel truck. I wonder if he's got like a setup where he can like winch that truck out. You put it neutral, winch. Well, like maybe he's got something set up on his daily driver where he winches that truck up. Well, it looks like he backs. Is it constantly connected to that trailer?
I don't know. I was kind of looking at the same thing. I mean, it's kind of that's a weird.
Because that's just a regular. It's a fifth wheel trailer. It looks like a toy hauler.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
but
it is.
but it's far enough. It's far enough back where it looks like it's sitting on the fifth wheel of the truck.
No, so he's probably just an owner-operator of a rig, and he just goes to the companies to haul their trailers around, makes a shitload of money. I knew a guy who done that, and he made a crazy amount of money.
I love all the wood on the ceiling. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at. Like, he's definitely got to be cranking this thing up and immediately getting out because the roof isn't stained up.
Yeah, I see that. I wonder if he's got. I wonder if he's got. Oh, that is a lot of lights. And they're all like can lights. I wonder if he's got like when you go to a garage and you have to run the car in the garage, they have those exhaust tubes that you put on the exhaust so the exhaust goes. I wonder if he's got something like that set up that he could quickly set those on there.
He has to have some type of automated exhaust system that detects like CO2 or something like that. It immediately ventilates the house. But do you know what the roof of that ceiling looks like? It almost looks like an upside down boat. Like looking from the inside. Yeah, it's really
it does. With the beams over here in the top. And I don't know why I'm using my mouse to point at it.
To support the roof weight. I mean, that is
the two-tone of the wood is beautiful.
I mean, Jesus, dude, there is a ton of steel work going on in this house that you're not even seeing.
Exactly. And I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day because I wanted to do wood floors here, but the problem is it gets moisture. I wonder if that's that plastic wood that's made out of oak
bottles. You know it's got to be, because if any of these cars leaks, he's got to be. oil or whatever. He's got to be able to get it up where it's not going to pull in stains.
No, I'm talking like on the ceiling because that plastic wood is super lightweight too.
I guarantee it's not.
Oh, it's probably not.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like he spared a dime.
Not as much money as this guy spent. I guarantee it's not. It might be coated with like a clear coat,
like a high, super high gloss.
I don't even know if it's like a high gloss. It doesn't look glossy. It looks like real natural, but it's got to have a coat on it so it doesn't absorb any moisture. But it's got to be like a pretty. There's got to be some pretty big I-beams going through there, and the I-beams are going to be custom made too because of the span.
Well, not necessarily, because it looks like the outside. If you look at the outside, it looks like your standard pole barn.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, I'm sure it's all custom, but like when you do the walls, maybe his roof is custom. Because
I bet there's two I-beams going to the left and right. That's why that's kind of poked out a little bit more. And I bet there's some like
I see
to the ground that's running the whole length of the house to be able to support the width of the thing, because there's not really, if you look at the big one of those pictures, I mean, that's where the big rig, there is nothing structural above it.
Yeah, there's nothing there. I mean, the only thing that goes floor to ceiling is that steam pipe for the stove.
Yep. And that produces a crap load of heat too, but I guarantee
it does.
There's some hidden HVAC in the walls to be able to take that hot air from the top, put it to the bottom.
Well, I'm actually trying to find the only thing I don't like about this, and I don't think it's something standard, so to speak, something that you see a lot. But I'm watching this guy, and I'm going to get this picture here for you. And it's not the greatest picture, but I would have gone the way this guy did. He builds custom wood burning stoves like that. But they're unlike.
Love a wood burning stove.
Well, this is unlike anything you've ever seen.
Well,
and I just sent it to my phone. And like I said, not the greatest picture, but you'll instantly be able to recognize what it is when I show you. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to tell me what you think it is right away. As soon as it uploads, it's clicked now. It takes a second to upload. But this is 100% custom. I'm going to give you a hint. It's reused. What is that?
I got to wait till it pops up on the bigger screen. Oh, I bet that was a bitch pulling that, setting it down wherever it was going. That's a backhoe bucket.
Yeah, it's actually off of a industrial sized dozer. Industrial size.
Yeah, that's.
But it is a bucket, cool. And he just finished it like a month ago, and he's already got orders for 5 more.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know.
To like a salvage junkyard for industrial equipment to try to even.
I think
find
so.
That.
Well, on top of that,
there's no way you're pricing yourself out of the work if you go buy one brand new. They're massively expensive.
This guy, the one he's building right now, one of the connecting joints was busted completely off.
Yep.
And so he reattached with the broken part. But it's not struck. You can't use it as a bucket anymore because it won't keep up. So they threw it away, and they asked him, "Do you want it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I need to build 5 more of these fucking things."
Sure.
And
you could do a grill out of that. That would be really cool.
But tell me that wouldn't look cool sitting in between those 2 garage doors instead of that little one.
It would. I don't know if it would flow, man. Honestly, I don't. Not in this specific environment. Maybe
Understood.
Too industrial for this. I don't. Yeah, maybe too industrial for this, but in the right setting, that is pretty freaking cool. I would like to see him convert one to a grill, like outdoor.
I always want to do the old car grill. Like you see in the Gone in 60 Seconds movie at the end of the movie. Like you take the front clip of a car.
Yep.
I want to do an episode on well, we could kind of do it tonight, but I didn't think about it till just now. But the weird decor that you can find of cars, you've seen, remember back in the day, the race car beds.
Yep.
Well, they make those for adult sizes.
Yes, they do.
But I saw a video the other day. It was a 67 C10 bed out of a pickup that you put the mattress in.
Very cool.
And the tailgate drops down so you can sit on it.
Oh, that's neat.
And put your shoes on. And I was like, you know what? I'm not mad.
I want a couch, take the back clip of one. I think what I saw that was really cool one time. Someone took the front clip of a car and kind of like the doors are still functional and you can kind of get into the seat. And I can't remember it must have been like a hangout spot, like downstairs, and they big old projector, and then they put the drive-in speakers.
Oh yeah. I've seen those,
man. Super cool. Not what I would go for, but the couch part. Oh, 100% sign me up for that.
There's a Range Rover dealership, and I think it's in upstate New York, but I saw it on TikTok a while back. They one of their cars fell off the trailer, and the insurance company is like, "Well, we're totaling it out."
Sure.
And one of the guy that owned the dealership, he owned the franchise, and he says, "I want to buy it." And they're like, "It's fucking destroyed." He's like, "I know." And the passenger side was perfect. The driver's side completely screwed.
Yep.
Ripped out the motor, put a new front clip on, cut the driver's side completely off, and made it his office.
That's pretty cool.
So you walk in the building and there's like, "Oh, look, there's a Range Rover in here." No, that's Bob's office.
That's pretty cool.
And I was like, I'm not mad at that.
Nope.
And then of course, there's a channel I used to watch on YouTube. It's a guy who owns a paint shop, and he goes to the junkyard and he buys like old Cadillacs or completely destroyed vehicles, and then makes a desk out of the front clip. And you can buy. There's a store here. I call it Aladdin's Cave because they have all this weird stuff you can buy. But they have a fiberglass 57 Chevy rear end that's a couch. But it's not the same because it's fiberglass. I want the real thing.
I mean, I guess it depends. It's a lot easier to move fiberglass couch around, though.
That's the drawback of having the real thing. You build it in place and just never move this. Ever.
I would probably have to go with the fiberglass just to be able to have the mobility.
Agreed. If you move around a lot.
Yeah,
you guys get a new house next year, and then you're probably going to move again.
It's probably going to be a couple of years, and I'll have to maybe take off somewhere else.
I'll build your barndominium, and that way you can keep a forklift.
I'll figure out some stuff.
That's the ultimate toy that I need. I need a forklift. I don't know why. I just need one.
Forklifts are
I have
fun.
no use for it. I have no use for it, but I'll find a spot. I'll find a use for it.
I think I'd rather have a Bobcat. You could put forks on it, and you could put a bucket on it. You could do a lot more stuff with it.
This is true. I don't mind
I'm not very good at driving a Bobcat, so I need a little bit of seat time so I can get a little bit smoother of an operator.
Well, but that just comes down to experience. If you got the money to buy a Bobcat, don't let that hold you back, buddy.
Oh no!
I'll be the first one cheering you on.
Forklift, I got no problem. I've drove all the way up to commercial where we were building houses, but I've only ever drove a Bobcat like 5 minutes one time, and it takes a second to get used to.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like you also, if you take that bucket off, get ready for a ride because that front tire is not staying down.
Man, they're so bouncy.
Oh, man. I watched the guy the other day. I do have to say, I'm not, when it comes to heavy equipment, I'm not the seatbelt guy unless I'm on a Bobcat.
Sure.
I watched a guy the other day. He's wrestling with this Bobcat without the bucket on, and he didn't have a seatbelt off, and he ended up in front of the Bobcat. And I laughed so hard I almost passed out.
I don't doubt it.
But yeah, the man cave thing for me and the she shed if you're in the city, get one now. I don't like if you're out in the middle of nowhere, just build you a barndominium or build you a giant garage. I love an open floor plan like that. I have no problem with it. And the beauty of the man cave and the she shed, that you go on Etsy or you go on to what's that not Etsy, what's that one? Pinterest. What's it called? Pinterest.
Okay.
Can't say. Pinterest is a website where you can upload pictures of your home improvement or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many ideas on what you can do to decorate and build your she shed or man cave. But you got to see this, buddy. I like this.
Oh, show me, bud.
I like this. This is, I don't think it's something I would rock all the time, but like if I was building one for my pops, there you go. The 1950s diner.
Dude, I freaking love everything about it.
I do too. I even like the pink phone.
I told my wife I would love to do like a diner like this, and then one section be like a convenience store with like a pump sitting out in front of it. We had like a whole entire like theme. Like we would, of course, that takes land because I think I want to get like 5 or 10 acres. There's a couple of things that her and I want to do, and we had like this whole little like strip mall planned out and what we want to do.
There's a dude that did it.
Oh, there's tons of people. I mean, one of the biggest people who did it was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, well, he built a Western theme in his backyard.
But it's kind of the same scenario that I want to do. But maybe
there's a guy. I think he's in Vegas, and he opens his garage, and it is you saw the movie the Kingsman, the second one.
Sure.
Where Poppy has that, the villain, so to speak. She's got that little village. This dude built it all in a garage. And he's got cars parked everywhere. He's got like a little gas station there. And it all looks like it just came right out of the 50s, like the main street of Back to the Future.
Yep. So I was watching some show. I can't remember which one it was. I think the husband had passed away, and the lady kind of, I don't want to say she was stuck because she liked this stuff too, but every single room was a different theme. And this guy's garage was like, it's gas station and something else. And it was like, oh my God, this is flipping incredible what this guy built. And it's like, you can literally, like, you can get gas. You can go in there and shop because he had like little, like a little thing set up for like candies and, whatever.
Okay,
They were all like legitimately real. And I told my wife, if we do something like that, I do want to like buy real.
There it is.
Come on, dude. Sign me up for this. I am about. This might actually be the same house I'm talking about.
Like it's amazing.
Incredible. I love everything about it, man. I'd have to open up a Mexican restaurant in mine, though. That's kind of what I'm into. I'm into Mexican food. So.
100%. So this guy, and let me go. I don't have a Prentice account because I'm not weird. Let me see if I can get this bigger. I hate Prentice. Whatever this website is called. Pinterest. Thank you. Let me show you my screen, and you can kind of see. This is the same guy.
Okay, no. So this isn't the same house I'm talking about.
Well, I think this is the same concept. I mean,
how freaking cool is it? No, this guy's house was like
there it is.
And like
check out that decor, buddy. It's a sink.
How stinking cool!
I like that. And then, of course, you got that looks like a Matco toolbox there for your stuff. I mean, that's just dope.
I like the theme, but you know what I like is this guy took hard work and he had goals and he stuck with them. And he just grinded.
The only problem with doing the 50s theme, it's not cheap. you got to find the stuff, you got to restore the stuff, or if you're buying it refurbished already, it's already priced through the moon.
Sure.
So
that is tough.
I mean, you got to have either you got to be independent wealthy, or you have to have one hell of a job, or you actually do refurbishing for a living, you know?
Yeah, because there's a couple of drink machines I want, and drink machines are super expensive. Or there's one cooler that I want that's older, and they're just so expensive. But I could do some of the refurb myself since I worked for Coca-Cola before. But when it comes to like the motor and the refrigerant side, well, I can't even get it even if I knew how to do it, because you have to have a license to get that. So
For Freon?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you could even probably call but you still gotta. I mean, it's gonna cost, even if you upgrade it to new stuff, because you can. A buddy of mine. I was watching a restoring channel, and they bought an old Coke machine, but everything inside was fried.
Yep.
And what they did is they went out and bought a brand new fridge and just transferred everything over.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
So, well, from the outside, it looked exactly the same, but the internal parts were all new. So it's like taking, you take I just saw this new car trend. It's basically you take a 2000 Silverado, rip the body off, and you put a 59 pickup.
Well, we just talked about this last week. So you're talking about a kit car for a refrigerator to turn it into a Coca-Cola cooler.
Well, yeah, it's just taking the internal guts and putting it in.
Yeah.
So, I
think that would work for someone maybe else, not for me, since I used to work for Coca-Cola. So I want more authentic. Because
You want it all original?
No, not all original. I want updated, right? Like I don't want to deal with lights. I want to deal with LEDs. I want
exactly.
I want, but the outside to look original, just refreshed. Because that's what we used to do, man. I would work on stuff that was 10, 15 years old. Every once in a while, we'd have a piece of equipment that would come through 50 years old, but that was never to go back out to the public. Whoever was in charge, man, that we refurbed it and it went straight up on a mezzanine and just
it's
for some reason sit there and rot it.
Exactly. And it's one of those things. It's like even something like that, to go buy it from a company, they're gonna be like, oh, dude, and you're like, yeah, how many arms, how many legs do you want?
Yeah, I remember there was one drink machine up there that was super freaking old, immaculate condition, and someone was saying it was like $30,000 or $40,000.
Oh,
because it was super rare. It was super old. Like it was old machine, and I think it was like it took like nickels or pennies or something. Like it was crazy.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, yeah, this is. They wouldn't even remove the plastic sheeting off of it because they were like,
oh wow,
we want no dust on this, nothing.
Oh wow.
But I was just like, what's the point of it just setting up on? And it was like, there was probably
so future generations know that Coke cost a penny.
Yeah, it was so weird, man, because this mezzanine was huge, but there had to be 50 plus machines set up there, and they're
something
all,
like that. Wouldn't it be
no
better
sense.
to put stuff like that into like the Smithsonian or something?
Yeah, I just don't understand what was the point of just sticking them up there, and no one ever saw them. We the company spent money on us to fix them, and we don't fix them pretty quick, but it was like nothing ever happened. They just sat up there. It's like you spent thousands of dollars to get it there in labor and in material,
and nobody's gonna see it.
Nobody. It just sits underneath a piece of plastic, and we tape the bottom so to try to keep it as
airproof
as much as possible. And I just never understood.
Have you ever seen the bottom of the Smithsonian, the garage of the Smithsonian? No. Like you can actually see videos of on the internet. Yeah, the Smithsonian. Well, it's the Peterson Auto Museum.
Okay, I was about to say Smithsonian. No one's really can go in there because they need to figure out how much they've lied to us.
Well, yeah, that too. No, but like the at the bottom of the Peterson, they have a garage where they can only show so many cars at once. They have these bubbles, and they're hard plastic bubbles that you fill with air.
Yep.
So nothing, and you can literally drop a cinder block on one of these bubbles.
Yep.
And it won't hit the car.
Correct.
And thousands of beautiful cars down there. And I think they rotate them out, but like they have like Hitler's car. You know, I know Connor will like that. But they have like I just saw there's one museum they have Bonnie and Clyde's car on display. You know, so you know they're rare cars, and they're beautiful, and of course they switch them out. But if you get invited to go down there, it's one of those things you don't say no to because you're gonna see a serious piece of history.
Yeah, because there's some not open to the public cars to be able to view. There's I think a couple of like private
collections
who kind of store their cars there, I think, a little bit. And then you would get a preview of some cars that they've taken off that maybe you didn't get there in time to go see. There's a few YouTubers that's been able to go down there and look at.
I think Shmee went down there, didn't he?
Yeah, Shmee, not too long ago. I think it was within a year or so ago. He just went down and was. It's just as big below as it is up top. It's just not themed down below. It's just like car after car after car.
It's literally just a parking lot. I brought up pictures. This is the Peterson Auto Museum Vault, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
There's your spot right there, buddy. All that classic Bugatti. There's a Batmobile, a gold DeLorean.
Well,
this is a 24 karat gold DeLorean. I think there's only 5 of them.
How do you even get insurance to be able to drive that down the road?
I have no idea. You own the insurance company?
You got to, or you just don't have insurance, and you're like, I have to take the risk, and no one's going to insure this.
Yeah, that's something that you build a concrete bunker around it. But I was trying to find the bubbles. There's the Peterson itself. I think I got the Fast and Furious vehicles, the old Bentleys. There's the Keaton Batmobile. There's Ecto 1. That's actually the movie car, one of them.
So there's a place in Michigan that is an old warehouse that they converted with all these cars, and they're
actually the Henry Ford Museum.
And they're preserving all these cars for future generations. And they take them out from time to time, but other than that, they stay in the bubble in perfectly mint condition.
Yeah. Well, like when I think I was like 15, my family, we took it was like a day trip, and when we went to the Henry Ford Museum, and you know, my first thought was like, that's the Henry Ford Museum. It's nothing but Fords. No, they had one of everything.
Yep.
Make, model, you name it. And I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. It's the first time I saw a 57 Plymouth Fury. Well, it's the first time I saw a Plymouth Fury up front. 57 Plymouth Fury, you know, one of my top 5 cars. It's just iconic. You know, even like Glick, he's not a big car guy. But you take him to something like that, and he can appreciate it. You know, if you're not a car person and you go into a place, you know, it's like if you go into the Louvre. I may not be the greatest art person in the world, but I can appreciate Mona Lisa.
Absolutely.
You know, and of course, you try to explain to especially kids. I was explaining to my kid the other day that, you know, the 57 Plymouth Fury is like 25 feet long. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's a yacht. And to explain that to somebody, they're like, Dad, your car can fit in the house. I'm like, yeah, but this, you know, it's 57. They made them big back then, you know? So it's one of those things. It's when you get to go to anybody gets a chance to go to an auto museum, whether you're into cars or not, you know, even if they're 100% bone stock, it's a beautiful thing.
I need to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame because
I'd like to go
down in Charlotte. I am mere miles away from it, and I don't know how old it is, but it's been there for a long time, and I have never once been able to do it. I mean, I'm quite a busy guy, but I need to go to it.
Says the person that sat in his garage and smoked cigars all day. I'm gonna be the guy.
Yeah, today. Well, I just got back yesterday. I've been out of town for like 6 days, so I had the day off. And
Yeah, you were on the road a lot.
Yeah, then
You've been on the road
up at like 6:30 in the morning. I went and so I worked today a little bit. I went and loaded my truck up. I actually started assembling equipment and everything in my van. So as soon as I get the job, like we're like shitting and getting because I want to hurry to get home because I looked at the freaking GPS and it was like good traffic. It was like an hour and 3 minutes to the job site tomorrow. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, okay. So I want to hurry up and get there and get back. Yeah, so I did do a lot of hanging out today, but there was a little bit of work. Well, then I think tomorrow, then after that, I'm off for the rest of the week. So
nice.
Everyone has Thursday off anyways, and I think I have Friday, so I'm good to go. But yeah, so I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want to include Barndominium because for the most people, it's just not a realistic idea.
Agreed. You got to have the budget. It's got to be your main pass.
Okay, let's go. Jeff's hangout. You've got. Let's go 12 by 16.
Okay.
Building. What do you want your setup to be?
Honestly, for myself,
let's say the building's paid for, and you've got $15,000 to put in it. That's American money, not peso money.
Okay. I want a nice TV. I want a decent sound system. One of those big glass ashtrays, and 2 recliners.
Ooh.
And then so facing the TV, nothing crazy. I don't need a whole bunch because, like me, I'll sit and watch TV for days if you let me.
Yep.
And then the decor, of course. I just want to go to the junkyard and buy a bunch of old rims and a bunch of old hubcaps, clean them up, and put them on the wall. I think the wall of chrome is, since I'm 5 years old, has been my dream.
Very cool. Very cool. I like.
What about you, sir?
I
know you're going to have a humidor in there.
Of course. I think I'll go a little bit more rustic. Definitely big TV because I'm a sports guy. So that's going to be a focal wall, right? Probably not recliners. I'm going more for lounge style.
Okay.
Let's just say, all right, let's do it. I'll keep 2 recliners. Nice big rug, awesome rug on the floor between the 2 chairs. Going to be a stand-up ashtray. It's called a stinky. I already know what it looks like. And then in the middle, we're going to go with like an end table between the 2. Behind that, I want at least 2 high top bars, tables. Maybe 2 or 3 chairs around each one. And then one side, I want as big of a bar as I get, say 4 or 5 foot in there. Definitely a cooler underneath it, and maybe 2 small TVs. Let's say 32-inch. I want like the ultimate hangout. Ultimate hangout. Not really car themed. Maybe some car pictures on the wall or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want it. Again, I smoke a lot of cigars and I like sports, so that would be more my theme. And sports.
Well, and of course, slowly you add to the decor. As you're out and about in the world, you're like, hey, look, a football phone. I'll put this in the man cave.
Yeah, but if I had bigger, if I could go like 16 by 24, the next thing I add is a pool table.
Oh, 100%.
We wanted to do a pool table here, but I don't want to buy it here because we're going to have to move and it's going to be a bitch to transport.
They're heavy.
Yeah,
they're not
and I've got to pay someone extra to do it. So I'm just like, no, we're just going to wait till we move, and we've already kind of know which one we're going to get.
I'm telling you, Facebook Marketplace, you can find pool tables all day long.
Sure.
The problem is you got to take them apart and put them together.
Not interested.
Yeah, that's the problem. Well, my cousin got one. He got one. The felt was perfect. It was a slate table, and it was at a friend. Well, we were on a job, and the guy was like, "Dude, I wish I could get rid of that thing." And my cousin's like, "What do you want for it?" He says, "Get it out of here." We went back that night, loaded it up. It took 5 of us to move the fucking thing.
Yeah, and I don't have 5 of us here to be able to move.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So I would have to buy it and then pay someone to install it. And you can't just slap it down, right? You have to make sure it's level. You can't hit a ball and it keep freaking rolling. So there's pieces and stuff to it. So I think I'll just buy one new. They're not crazy expensive. Yeah, they're not crazy. Like, oh my God, I can afford one.
What are you going to get the custom pool walls? Have you seen those?
No, in case I ever need to sell it, I don't want to,
Okay.
Because it kind of limits you when you start doing something.
Not really, because when you got custom pool balls, you can put it in a
Maybe
display and just hang it
I
up.
would do custom pool balls, but not custom felt.
No, custom felts. Because at the end of the day, you got one wrong person and they're shooting pool, they fuck up your felt anyway.
But I'll tell you what I definitely want if I get a pool table. I want the freaking bar light that goes over it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the stained glass thing.
No, you know what I want? I want to hang just the front grill or two of them of different cars, shining the light down. So it looks like the car is coming out of the ceiling.
Oh, you could definitely do that. Well, Jeff, this was a good show, man. This was fun. I kind of liked it that it was car themed, hangout space themed. This was fun.
Well, yeah, I was going to say we got to wrap it up because we're getting to that part. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to play the full theme song because I do need to cut it down. Just play a little clip of it, and then we're going to say our goodbyes and head out. I got to look something up while we're doing it.
Hey, Lori, what in the hell are you doing in there? Is she gonna ride with you?
Mind your own business, John.
Yeah, she's going with me. You take care of yourself, man.
She was in a burn rubber and making motors blow. So what the school asked her just how fast she liked to go. She said, how many cubic inches you got where it counts? I told her 125 inch, but my motor mounts. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod ain't enough for her. She didn't say a whore. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. And I'm in my rod to force. She's a hot rod whore. In the bag, she's hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. She don't need to know your son. Just your token power. She's hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. Hot rod whore. They're shining my rod to pose. She's a hot rod whore. Hot rod.
Oh, that's the garage door. That's all right. Well, before we go, let me see that shirt, sir. Where'd you get that shirt?
I got it off the interwebs.
Oh, look at that. Just so in case anybody's looking, we do have shirts and hats and all that fun stuff. There is the link, Jeff's Garage Podcast, printify.me products. Anybody wants that, just go ahead and hit us up on our email, Jeff's Garage Podcast @gmail.com. And before we go, what do you want to say to the folks as we're heading out, sir?
I want to thank everyone for hanging out and being in the chat. I know sometimes we don't focus so much on the chat, but I think we should every once in a while take a peek at it.
I've been peeking.
So depth into conversation. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out as always. We really appreciate it.
And my new thing, I'm going to be using toasts. So I know you don't have a glass with you, but if you can, raise your glass. And may you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you're dead.
There you go.
Thanks for listening, folks. Good night. And it takes forever to lock down. I should really, before I give my quote, hit that button. It just takes forever.
Well, dude, I've got to go eat and I've got to charge the iPad. Yeah.